spot, pulling in and getting the groove on. And that's what we're gonna do this morning. We're gonna get our groove on and find that groove that gives us that shine. That's probably the hardest thing to do in life, is to be able to outshine your darkness and to be able to have conversations with yourself. And yesterday we talked about the me versus me, and now we want to talk about why those demons even exist. It's Friday, and love to say that Monday and Thursday didn't happen, but that's exactly like a part of our lives. We're a bunch like the weekend, where we only remember the birthdays, we only remember the touchdowns, and then again, there comes the demons, and that's the darkness of it. Like a lot of us, we'd like to show up to the prom pretty, but we don't want to talk about how hard it is to get the dress together, how hard it is to get the date together, how many obstacles it takes just to get to the dance. And I was watching The Last Stand, or The Last Dance, Michael Jordan, and everybody wanted them to just come back and start winning, right? Everybody would love to just hear about all the wins, no losses. We only want our fighters to be undefeated. We don't want to have any kind of blemishes, right? Like, we live in a world where nothing can be out of sorts or unblemishable. And when it happens, people go like, "Why'd that happen, bro? I don't understand." Like, I don't understand this imperfection. And that's why I had to have this conversation, because over here, player, nothing is perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. That was the whole point of doing Saints Addiction, was to talk about dichotomies between wanting to be perfect, and people, wanting the last name and what it takes to be a saint, but the imperfections is as real as us, right? Like, that's what makes us up who we are. The growth between the birthdays. We all just like it to be the celebration. That seems to be the bit of the education, is like, we just want to celebrate. We don't want to grow. We just want to arrive at the finish line. We don't want to do laps. We just want to be a winner. And part of being a winner, right? Part of the prize is a price. And part of that price is having these conversations with yourself. And part of that price is having these conversations with yourself. The straight talk, because there's all of us, we're going to have a conversation with ourselves and straight talk to ourselves for some motivation. Let's get into it. Let's get that away. Someone can send me a picture, that would be dope. And a lot of these conversations that we have with ourselves, I'm a failure, I'm fat, I'm ugly, these kind of conversations never help. There's so many times that things get said to ourselves, and we talk to ourselves, but the conversations of self-help, real conversations, so that way you can really talk to yourself instead of feeling your way through or objectifying or demonizing something inside of us all as an imperfect human being. The people that make it sound like you're supposed to walk on water and arrive at church every Sunday, look prim and proper, know that these are disguises. There are still priests that are pedophilias. Did that even make sense? That are into pedophilia. There's still people that hit their children even though that they don't have a hair out of place. There's still people that haven't figured themselves out yet. Let's just put it that way. There's still people out there that haven't figured out themselves, or where their demons lie, or their darkness. And this is the conversation I had to have with myself. But I've been so exposed in this last relationship. I didn't realize that I took on so much control and habits and vindictiveness, the abuse that I learned as a kid came into my own reality. Now, it's a double whammy. I love to say, oh yeah, that's just on them, but I'm an adult too. I had to unlearn these things that were learned to me. It's a scary thing when you are in a situation where you become the abuser. And as somebody as a victim of abuse and a perpetrator of the thing, I know both sides. I know about each time I try to control like my sister, I didn't want to let her go. You know, I didn't want to let her go. We were 15 years old and we never spoke again. I knew if I let her go that we would never speak again. And that's why I didn't want to let go. But I had to let go because I had to let go of control because I don't control people. And the same shit happened to me 25 plus years later. Gripping onto things as if they are going to stay a reality. Instead of holding them like water, which I've preached about many a times, to hold this thing, cup it so that we can have something. What did I do? Act more stupidly. And that's always gonna fuck with me. It's always gonna fuck with me. Why couldn't I be chill? Why am I arguing with my pregnant girl? My son would still be here. And everybody goes, it wasn't meant to be. You guys weren't a fit. But nobody else knows the situation. Before it all quit, there was so much time and love and energy put into making this child that I could lose all that time and energy in one fatal swoop. That it only took one time, you know, like we talk about people getting on planes and shit. It only takes the one time when the plane goes down, you know. That's the ironic part, is that we could be so prim and proper every day, but it's the times that we're loosey-goosey that we end up meeting the person that we want to meet, you know. It's a time where we let our hair down that we actually show our crown. But everybody wants to just wear the crown. They just want to be not a hair out of place, not a booger up their nose, never once farted. And I've shit my pants, man. I'm here with the Sunrise talking about shitting your pants in public all the time. Everybody wants to have, that great relationship, and then they got people that they gotta hide. I got my own cousin come here. My life's in shambles. Last time I was there talking about my abortion, now it's his turn. So I'm the asshole that wants to sleep with my ex and have been for the last 3 months. Okay. You got the perfect family, right? The girl that's so Christian and getting her real estate degree and have all these kids, and the first thing you do is call energy. Go, you and your ex are buzzing on each other. And now he's reaching out to get something started. Call it her shot. And now he's in that last 3 months. And he's the asshole. He could be the guy that goes to work every fucking day, take care of kids that aren't even his, and that'll be the day. You'll be the asshole. There'll be somebody that you'll let down besides for yourself. There'll be situations where you won't be able to rise to it. You're not Superman, right? You're not floating on water. You're not Jesus walking on water. You're not Superman flying over buildings, and definitely not bulletproof. And that's what ends up happening to us. We go through these lives trying to maintain bulletproofness, like as if there's not going to be a day where the shots aren't going to come out and hit us. And that's what I start seeing when I'm in these situations. When I'm out in real life, I just start seeing my life as a thing that's been riddled with holes, you know, riddled with broken homes and broken promises and a broken soul. And a lot of people would like it just to be saintly and just fly over it and just be like, nothing ever happened to me. And I think that's extremely unhealthy. I think that'd be like pretending there's no dents in your shield. You know, I wouldn't be able to trust it. The shield has to be able to take some damage. Has to be able to take some blows to strengthen the metal inside of us. That's what we are. We're lucky to be alive. We were lucky to be born. We were lucky to have parents to actually even make love, and to make love at a time where there was an actual seed, and both seeds were implanted, and that those seeds were allowed to become a planet, and then you become a person on this planet, and how you react to your situation, to your own story. That's all I'm talking about, man. This ability for us to live this story and battle these demons and battle the whole thing. Because then it's like, now you got the parents, now you're probably going to have to vie for their attention and to what do you call it, impress upon them. They're impressing upon you what they want and their values, and you're trying to impress them because you want to make them happy. And then you go into the real world and then try to become rich so that they can have plenty of supply and that happiness. And you realize it's very hard to do. Most people are out for themselves and keeping other people down. That door was open. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm not tripping. Maybe it is open. The door's open. Anyway, that's us. We're on the battle field of our lives. Every day we got to battle the demons inside. It's easy when we have our angelical selves showing up, you know. What are we going to do when the demons keep popping out? And that's what I normally had to deal with, is with addiction, is normally dealing with those rejections, those imperfections, the things that what the dude's UFC said. I might start drinking for a little bit and living under a bridge. Like, we only celebrate winners. The girls fuck the winners. All the dudes are vying to be a winner, but nobody talks about coming from the losers. You know I'm addicted to winning, so it's like, you don't ever, don't talk about, shut your mouth when you talk to me, right? That's a lot of us not wanting to talk about missed bills. Again, I talked about the race of life, and nobody wants to talk about that. Have you ever missed a bill? You're like, shit, I have. And you're like, oh fuck, you know, that kind of shit happens, man. When you've missed a bill, even right now, my bill's fucking $457. I have a $457 bill, and I can't get Google Fi to turn off the data speed. That didn't work, and I could complain, and I will complain, because I thought, you know what, now I got a channel to complain. Google Fi has overcharged me for everything. Like, there's no store to talk to anyone about. So as soon as I went in, I was like, yeah, let me get my mom a phone. Happy birthday, Mom. That's in November. I'm in Brazil. She can't set up the phone. I come back. They won't rebate her because she didn't set up her phone fast enough. I'm like, she's 60 plus years old, dude. This newest fucking latest and greatest phone from her flip phone is not her forte. But what'd they do? They fucking didn't give her the rebate. And I was like, well, I referred my mom. You said if I refer someone, it's $100. No can do. We're not doing that either. But I was in Brazil. I was making these phone calls. Yeah, well, now it's $250 more. Like, I thought I got the unlimited international plan. Tough Titty Committee, that's from America, not out of America to America. So I'm calling 800 numbers, stuck on hold, getting a fucking bill of $250 when I could have been on WhatsApp or Zoom or something else for free. Let me complain some more. And these motherfuckers are still charging me. I've been to my old house when I was staying in there, trying to get my data to flow, and what do you know? It did work. I kept getting an LTE signal instead of my 5G signal. I'm getting LTE, and I called and I complained and I emailed, and I got 30 different emails, and I proved to them yesterday that 4 different emails turn it off, but they won't turn it off, and now it's $10 a gig and 336 gigs. By the way, my mom gets 35 gigs, but that just disappears because she doesn't use it, and it doesn't reoccur. It just disappears, but it's paid for. Like $10 a gig. If you don't have yours, fuck everybody else's data or whatever you pay for, yours gets double charged. And I was like, wait a minute. I should be on the unlimited plan. Now, instead of $100 a month, and my $80 a month goes up to $100 a month, now it's $500, $457 bill, $460 bill, and I don't even know what to do. That's the truth of it. But everybody wishes that they had more money. They have bigger trucks, they get more lifted, they get rims, they get fucking all sorts of stuff, but nobody wants to talk about the missed plays. The time I didn't catch the ball. The times I missed social cues. The times I've said something awkward instead of something smart. The times I've been violent instead of peaceful. The times I've cheated instead of told the truth. Like, that's the world I live in, where it's like, you know, when I really started telling the truth and coming real with myself, you know, that's that ultimate freedom. You want to talk about anarchy? I love this design. I've always liked the idea that we could rule ourselves instead of some other overlord coming and sprinkling their decisions upon us and we have to follow. And, you know, I was like, but I always thought for myself, you know, talk about the ultimate freedom, thinking for oneself, coming up with your own conclusions and living your life in a manner that doesn't affect others, right? This pursuit of happiness. And that if you're out in the field talking to a horse, you're you're allowed to do that. You know, you're not a witch. You're a free bird, a weird bird, but a free bird. And that's what I feel that I am, a weird bird and a free bird. And I've always enjoyed and loved my freedom to be able to travel the world and go places and do things. That's important to me. But to others, then I don't know if they're appreciating it. You know, I don't think they're appreciating both sides of it. You know, not for nothing, if you're going to go do this travel thing, right, and go live your life on your own terms, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost a certain amount of freedom. Sure, you're at your ultimate freedoms, but you're not at your social media. So there you go. There's a choice. And then you won't have as many, what's the other choice? Holidays, you know. I've given up so many Christmases, but for some people, there's no way. That's all they look forward to all year long. This is their year. This is their life. This is their family. They can't see a way of living not in the pattern. And that's another thing. It's just like, do we keep holding true to our patterns? That's what's developing us, and go, okay, wait a minute. Some of these things ain't working out, right? We'll have to talk to ourselves and be like, some of these things are like making me a chronic liar, making me a chronic thief, making me a chronic drinker. You know, the addictions are real. I guess I could call it Saints Chronic, you know, but that would have been different, you know. Saints Apology. There's been a couple different spin-offs, you know. Somebody did Saints Awakening. Like, okay, someone actually bought that domain name. I'm like, I should have owned that, but okay. But that's where we live. We live in a world where the saint needs awakening. You know, the good in us can awaken over these habits in us that seem to always dominate. And that's what's so weird about us as pattern people, is even in the face of the facts, this is cognitive dissonance, at our worst, we can lie to ourselves. And at our best, we can believe the lie. And that's something that's so weird. It's so scary. Like, it's so powerful too, because you can feel that when you're like, holy shit, I start believing the lies in myself, you know, that I'm not good enough, that I'm a failure, that I'm overweight and that I'm ugly. They said that women have the same three things. I'm fat, I'm ugly, and I'm stupid. And I don't know who the fuck been telling them that, but on a regular basis, this is what a majority of women are saying to themselves. And to myself, man, I'm not rich enough. I'm not, I'm not tall enough. I'm not as successful enough, right? It's never enough. And I've been watching, I go to the gym, and I've been watching some guys that they're fucking big, but you can also see it even in them, that chase, almost like a beautiful girl that's piling on the makeup, the chase more instead of exist more and being more and having more happy. We lather it on, right? It's not enough to be naturally beautiful. No, I need an edge. It's not natural enough to be super big. I gotta be huge. And that's us, man. We are the dichotomy of it all. It's like, oh, it's so saintly, and then it's addiction. It's just fucking this straight raw truth of I'm addicted to my ego, and therefore I have to show up every day with this amount of makeup or this amount of clothes and this kind of personality, instead of me showing up in my own life, in my own story, and being my own hero in this movie called My Life. I'm in the green room, disguising it, making up costumes and behind the scenes, when this is the real scene. Like, this is the real sun behind me, and this is really the sunrise, and this is really my imperfections. That, no, I didn't get a baby. This is my biggest disaster of my life. No, I don't like being homeless. This is another disaster of my life. And no, I'm not that successful yet. It sucks, dude. It's the thing that I'm addicted the most not working for me. It's the similar as like putting a donut in your mouth. It's almost like you don't even taste the first couple bites. Sure, because I felt it. I felt us staying in that range of, yes, that's the thing. And I've been working all day or really hard to get to that thing that feels like everything's all right. But then it slips away a little bit. It just disappears, kind of like melts in your mouth, not in your hands, not in your mind, but in your mouth. And you get real quick, there's this desire that, that's the feeling I wanted. And then it dissipates because now you need another bite. Now you need another drink. Now you need another compliment, another like. That's what we do. We're desperate for the cheap thrills. Count yourself in, or start calculating yourself. Be accountable on this and just go, what are my cheap thrills that I chase like a dog religiously and won't ever let go? These are my things. And that's this dogged mentality that we have. We end up being so dogged. We end up being so repetitive. And yet we can only chase one ball. We become a one-trick pony. And I'm just saying, get some examination out. Put that pony aside. Try picking a different pony. Try picking a different pattern. It's so interesting to use our lives as the experiment. That's what's so cool about it, is you get this chance every day to start, tweaking it. And let's say, okay, that didn't work. Let me try it this way. Let me try to, I'm really good at this area, and I show everybody I'm great at my makeup. I'm great at showing up and having outfits or being a certain personality, right? We all wear certain clothes that fit our personality. They say a lot about us, and we make it so. We want to be individuals. We want to let them know that this is my personality, that, I have my hat backwards because I'm in anarchy, and I have a beard because I'm against cutting facial hair and fitting in on the norm, right? I'm a t-shirt guy, t-shirt short guy. This is my rise and shine. This is what I'm saying. I'm comfortable. I'm loose. Other people, they'll show up prim and proper. Other people have a whole fucking wardrobe. There's other people that just do their jeans and sneakers and shirts, like much like me. I'm shirts, shorts, and sandals, and not a hat. Like, I'm very simple. Like, I like being simple. I'm showing my simplified. I'm showing my black and white, the colors of my skin, the decorum, who we are. Shout so loudly we can't even be heard, right? We come into a room. That's what I love about t-shirts, and that's why I'm such a shirt addict, because it says a lot about you before you come in. Are you a button-up tie kind of person, or are you a rock and roll person because you got your band shirt on? And what band is it? And we say so much about ourselves, We literally are developing ourselves every day, every way, every shirt we buy, everything we wear. We're literally voting with our wallets. And I was just telling people to examine how they've been voting. Get yourself a real vote count. Like they've been talking about the machines lately. That's how you really account for yourself, is count your votes. What have you been voting on? And is those the things you want? Had the conversation with Vera. She got her touchdown. You can see it. Vera, love Vera. She just killed it. And I killed the shirts, man. They're printed fast. They're delivered, hat in an hour. Like the hard things, like it was the hope of all hope. She's got her band. She's laying it out there. And we were talking about Peru and how we went up there and how Machu Picchu was hard. And I had to let her know that Rainbow Mountain was even harder. And that when we were going on these journeys, we were the few people that actually been to Peru. And I told her that while I was up there, the thing that shocked me is that I made it all the way to Machu Picchu, right? And I'm in my hotel room and my breath is evaporating. I can see how it's so cold that I can see my breath in my own hotel room. This really happened. And I'm like, Mark, you made it this far. How come you can't launch your websites? How come you can't be a father? How come you can't start a family? How come these things, or the why not attitude? Why not start a family? Why not you? As I point in the general direction of whoever's watching, why not you? That's a very powerful statement. You start asking yourself, what is it about me that's holding me back? Like I said, me versus me yesterday. What is it about me that likes to get in the way and self-sabotage whenever things are starting to go good in a relationship, in a job, in my finances? Then Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde shows up and he starts outspending and overeating and self-sabotaging. Or then you find love and you get so scared that you run away or violent in return. How many of us are stuck in a way where we'd love to point the finger at everyone else, but there's so many fingers pointing back at us? And that's why I call it fighting demons, because there's that other us that likes to get in the game and tear it out the frame and fuck our shit up when it really just needs an uppercut. And that's all I'm giving everybody's advice this morning, is to just start fighting the demons. Start fighting the habits, get back at them, and start being like, look, man, I have plans, man. I got a dream, man. You know what I'm saying? This has come from the heart from the start. You ain't coming to just grab this and take this any which way, man. You're not just going to talk to me any which way. You're not just going to treat my life any which way. I'm going to take a stand. I want to be a man. I want to be a woman and be the type of person that I know's inside of me. That's what I'm talking about this morning. On my heart from the start, your boy Marky Saints Addiction. If you got anything out of this, you're on the same mission. And this is the same thing I say every day. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, subscribe. Ciao. Belo. Beijos. Comments below. I want to hear it. And I want you to feel it. Peace. I'll see you.